but that's because I'm very used to young wine. Some of the people out there watching who are not used to drinking fat.
Come on, girls, you want your pizza?
This is the wine you want to
Well, I want this wine too.
2-3 hours of decanting, a monster effort though. I'm going 92 plus on this sensational 2005 Burgundy, and let me tell you something, this was an absolute delight.
You want pepperoni or sausage?
I tried real hard. A couple things really disappointed me.
Okay.
I gotta admit, the handheld also disappointed me. And the Beaujolais craze.
Wow.
But
You're welcome.
great. Wow. Anyway, so today, what are you doing for Thanksgiving?
Wine show? I didn't know you were here. I thought you were good. Who is that guy?
Let's be honest. We're all very good mood today. Just in the world. Because you, with a little bit of me, we're changing the world. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Wine Library TV. I am your host, Gary Vaynerchuk, and this is The Thunder Show, aka WLTV, the internet's premier wine program. And that, Mott, right there, that first 10 seconds is the thing I want to talk about today. I need the Vayner Nation to help me out. So today's question of the day is, what should I do? And that's a very loaded question because it's very tough. That right there, the way I start this show, that's me. That's who I want to be. However, many people emailing me, telling me that they've now started watching the show and they love it. But the first time they came to the show, that exact beginning made them stop and leave. And so what I'm realizing through tons of emails and chatter, people I met on the floor, different people that, you know, they're hearing so much about the show that we've eventually got them, is should we have an intro? Like a 15-second intro, like, you know, a lot of shows do, and should it be a Vayniac contest where people make a warning, like, warning, the first 15 seconds of this show, you're gonna wanna kick the person in the head, but the rest of the show is good. Or some sort of thing like that. What do you think? I mean, it's a very complicated question. I'm not going to change who I am, even though I've been getting these emails for over a year, because that's how I want to start The Thunder Show, because that's how we do. But at the same token, there's so many people that we'd rather not lose with that hysteria, as one person called it. Just who I am. I mean, but it obviously does tone down at some level and bring content after the hello everybody. But I want to be hello everybody because that's that's like the turn on sign to get the show going to the place where it needs to be. What do you think?
Maybe like a disclaimer.
I could see a couple Vayniacs getting together, you know, or what would be awesome if Vayniacs would step up and we get loads of people. I mean, just every day somebody's sending in video, a 15-second video, and it's like the Vayniac intro video, which is the Beware video, right? If we can get hundreds, if not thousands of you to record a 15-second spot that says, beware, the first 15 seconds of the show, you may want to kick the guy in the nuts, but it's gonna get a hell of a lot better. And everybody can do their own version. I like that. There's something there. Anyway, Thunder Show time. What are we doing today? I feel big today. I feel like Andre the Giant because, you know, everything is small. We've got half bottles today, and we're going to get into that in a minute, but first I want to go through the checklist of things I want to talk about. First and foremost, I hope that everybody had the greatest Thanksgiving of all time, a wonderful Black Friday, and I hope you're really enjoying your Cyber Monday now. I know a lot of people in the store are. I mean, walking around, everybody's shopping. It makes me want to throw up, but it is what it is. You know, it's a very interesting day now, and so we should probably do something big for Cyber Monday next year. I wasn't even thinking, like free shipping, half off, ship to Canada, you know, all that stuff. Anyway, hope that went well. Hope you realized how important and to the key of life family is, and I hope you enjoyed it and cherished every moment. I definitely did. Kisses all around for mom, dad, grandma, aunts and uncles. It's the best. A couple shout outs. Scotty the Fly Fisherman in California wants to give a huge shout out to his friend Paul Roberts, who's the beverage director for Thomas Keller's French Laundry. They've got a new addition in the Roberts family. Madeline Roberts has joined us in the world. So congratulations, Paul. I bet you at a couple of events, and obviously you run a program for what I think is probably the premier restaurant in the world. And also I want to share one other thing that I think is very important. Bruce from Sunset Winery. You remember, Mott, we did the Texas wines, and we kind of bashed them a little bit. I mean, didn't bash them, but, you know, said they were overpriced and didn't give them the highest of scores. But Bruce sent me an email over the weekend. I think he waited for the Jets to get pummeled by the Cowboys since he's a Texas boy. I understand that maneuver. And, you know, just thanked me for putting it on the show, and was a real class act, and somebody that gets it. With so many wineries that used to be my friend, now upset when I critique their wines and don't give it a positive spin, to see a guy like that stand up and say, hey, listen, yeah, you know, they're not where we want. Didn't realize that the winery was only around for 2 years, so very impressive. And, you know, conditions in Texas don't allow us to be as price-oriented as you were mentioning, but we're heading in the right direction. I like the Oak Monster a little more than you do. A lot of people do. Actually, I think we should do an Oak Monster show soon. But big ups to Bruce. You know, just that's the way to do it. I mean, you know, I'm just really, really impressed with him. And one last thing, I'm addicted right now to Private Dancer by Tina Turner. If you're down with that song, give me a woot in the comments. Let's get into it. Half bottles. Why am I doing a show on half bottles? Yes, one, I'd like to seem bigger and more powerful and masculine, but two, half bottles have become very big, and for 5 years prior to now, I would say, it was very difficult to find quality wines in half bottles, but all of these wines are 89 and up scored wines, found in half bottle form. Half bottles are really great for two groups of people. One, spouse limitation group. You know, the SLs are very sad because their spouse will not join them in drinking wine, and they don't want to do the vacuum in and all that, so half bottles are great for them, and half bottles are great for weeknights. I mean, you just don't want to get plastered. You got to wake up at 6 o'clock and catch a train or get to work or commute or whatever you do. And so half bottles really do serve a purpose. And or, for a guy like me, I really enjoy ordering half bottles. Lizzie and I went to Crew. You know, I was looking at the half bottle list very carefully because you get to buy 2 or 3 wines that evening. And again, building your palate. A lot of people complain, Gary, well, I don't have that many chances. Well, you know, buying 2 bottles instead of 1 is another way to go. Now, half bottles do tend to be a little bit more pricey than the $7.50 counterparts. You know, you buy 2, it's usually a little bit more expensive than a full bottle. Plus, the big debate is, do half bottles age quicker? A lot of people, the common knowledge is that if you store wine in half bottles, they will age a little bit quicker. I've actually seen a lot of wines and had the luck to taste 82 Bordeaux's half bottle against full bottle, and it hasn't been as extreme as I think people make it out to be, but that's another debate, another story for another day. And now let's get into the wine, because that's why you're here watching this show. Domaine Bernard Defaix. Chablis Premier Cru, Côte de l'Eche, 2005. 89 to 92 points. Alan Meadows, the Berghound. Ooh, the Berghound is a guy that I respect dramatically. One of the best wine critics of any category in the world, in my opinion. 89 to 92 points. Alan Meadows is a high score because he is a stingy SOB. Now, Defaix is a great producer. Chablis is an area within Burgundy which produces 100% Chardonnay wines. Chablis tend to be flinty and stony, and really my preference with Sancerre to drink along with oysters. This wine is $11 US. Now, I know all of you watched Kellen Clemens on Thanksgiving, and he looked awful, no doubt. Don't forget, it's only his 3rd or 4th start of his career, so let's not get crazy. But it is $11. I still like that number. 89 to 92 Meadows, half bottle, great little price, 100% Chard from 2005, which is arguably the best vintage in 25, excuse me, 15 years, 1990, yeah, math skills. 15 years in Burgundy, and really one of the great vintages in a long time, all time. Some people are yerping about out there, so what is yerping? Can we look that up in the slang dictionary? Anyway, some nice color. Let's give this little weird, you know, Thundercat a little sip. That ratio to body size probably killed him. Yep, it did. Let's give it a whirl. But first, a sniffy sniff. Really interesting nose. I'm getting a little bit of a, you know, of a vegetable mix. Carrot and peas came to mind right away. There's a lemon burst as well. There's a little hint of vanilla, which I enjoy as well. A little bit of chalkiness. Really nice nose. Very clean. Let's give it a whirl. This wine is lychee on the mouthfeel. I get some kiwi components. I also get some star fruit. there's an acidic, astringent, kind of almost like ripe, youthful lime component that is awkward on the palate. It's very clean, very drinkable. Again, I mean, look, we poured just a little bit. We're already halfway done. Not halfway done, but close. I adore half bottles. I really hope that a lot of you start seeking out better wines in half bottle form. Tough. You need good wine shops. Most places, commodity stores like Kroger's and Whole Foods and places like that aren't really that strong. But if you can, seek them out. But back to the wine itself. A little bit lighter than I expected. Very clean and crisp. But not the body or explosiveness that I was hoping for. But ironically, it makes, I don't drink, as you know, I don't drink a lot of wines. It seduced me into drinking it. But then I wasn't happy about it. You got to, Anyway, I'm not feeling this wine. I'm shocked. I don't find Alan Meadows to be a critic that I've ever seen a huge disparity and him overrating wine, but I think he's well overrated this wine. I'm going to go 86 points on this wine. I think it's a very standard, boring Chablis. I think Bernard Defaix is a tremendous producer. I'm sorry, I'm sticking to it. It's just what I feel. I'm a little disappointed in this effort. Let's move on. One other big shout out for all of you. I'm a huge fight fan. I love boxing. I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but I am super pumped for this Ricky Hatton-Mayweather fight. I don't know if anybody's watching Mayweather-Hatton 24/7 on HBO. You can get it on demand. Seek it out. This is going to be a big-time fight. Mayweather might be just a tad too fast, but it could turn out to be a huge fight. Shahalam 2000 Reserve Pinot Noir, Rion Reserve. This wine is $17 in half bottle form. 90 points, Pierre Ravani, who was the wine critic for a long time in this area for Robert Parker, about a decade. He's now moved on. I think Jay Miller now does Oregon and Washington. Oregon. Let's give this a whirl and see what's going on. Mott, what happened to Eli over the weekend? First time I really got to watch the Giants in a while, because no Jets on Sunday, and really paid attention to that game while I did email. I gotta tell you, that was scary stuff out there.
Ugly.
Now the Shahalam, tremendous producer from Oregon, really one of my favorite producers. $17 for half bottle Pinot, not inexpensive by any stretch of imagination, but this is a $30 wine. What I like about this is sometimes you get older vintages hanging around in half bottle form because they make more than the demand, and this is a 2000, so I'm excited about that. Let's give this a little bit of a sniffy sniff. There's some nice berries coming through. There's also a musty, foggy, muddy, kind of like today's day. Twirl over there. Let them see today's day. Is that a good look of it today? Kind of, sort of?
It's Jersey in November.
This wine kind of smells like outside right now. It's not festive, not happy. It's like Moss Man from He-Man. It's just very, gloomy. I don't know, just like not happy or spirited. So, but it's okay. I kind of like it. It smells. It also has a little bit of a meaty kind of component, almost like a burger. It smells a little bit like a hamburger. Let's give it a whirl. One thing I didn't mention that I should have, now I took away all the fun. I look back at some notes. I actually hated this wine 2 or 3 years ago. I panned it in my own personal tasting notes. Not to the world. No Wine Library TV back then. I entertained myself. Trust me. Actually, on a day like this, I feel like, you feel like you just want to... Anyway, so, ironically, I was talking about very high tannin levels and off-balancedness and awkwardness and baby fat, and just, I kind of compared it to, the 6'2" third grader who everybody beats up. I mean, there's people like that. There was a kid in my class. It was wild. He was bigger than everybody combined, but, like, girls that were 1'4" whipped his ass. That's what this wine reminded me of. Ironically, it is still very tight and tannic. This is a wine that really is struggling to open up and show you all its fruit. However, it's come a long way. I really like the green beans and celery root on the finish. I get a gorgeous, like, white truffle flash on the finish, mixed with raspberries and cherries. Very pretty, very velvety, whereas before it was razor sharp. This wine has benefited from aging. And that's what wine does, folks. Remember, lots of these wines, and wines that you've had, that you hate or love in the beginning, after 3 or 4 years, they change. We all change. Look at yourself in the mirror. You've got a couple more wrinkles. Come on, that's what happens. You get older, you change, sometimes for the better. So this wine has clearly evolved and changed for the better in my palate. And or maybe I've changed, and the wine hasn't at all. Wine, I'm sorry to assume. Maybe I'm the one who's changed. And that's very possible as well. As I go through this wine, I'm really enjoying it, actually. There's like a cherry cola meets, right there, right there. It's like a cherry cola meets, just got a haircut. A cherry cola meets chocolate bomb component going. Actually, you know what it tastes like? It tastes like a Crunch, Nestle's Crunch. It's got, right there, if you breathe it in, that Crunch bar component mixed with the strawberries and the raspberries are really, really elegant and interesting. I'm enjoying this wine. I think Pierre Ravani was ahead of me in the first place. He was right. I was wrong. I'm going to also score this wine 90 points, and I think it's a terrific effort. A wine that I'm probably going to take some half bottles home of. Just a really great example. You know, it's Tuesday night. You're watching, what's on Tuesday nights? I don't know. I Love New York, or whatever the crap people watch, that stuff. Anyway, you're watching Wine Library TV, and you don't want to pop open a whole bottle. This is a great alternative, little half bottle. You can bang right through it. Put the kids to bed, read a book, love life. 9 is an amazing book. Come on, gotta get that 9. Chateau La Cardonne, Medoc, 2000 vintage, 9 US, that was weird, $9 US, 89 points, Wine Spectator, 50 Merlot, 40 Cab, 45 Cab, 45 Cab Franc, 45 Cab Sauvignon, 89 points, Wine Spectator, 2000 vintage Bordeaux, which is the big year before 2005, and this wine is $9 US, 89 points. Now this is why half bottles are exciting. You get quality drink, and so the alternative is, yeah, you get twice the amount of wine in a bottle of wine, but how many wines are $9 that are really blowing people away? Not that many. So, you know, you get quality price ratio in here, right? And it doesn't go bad, and it's a couple glasses and you're off on your way. Really dark, nice color. Good start for the La Cardonne 2000. Let's see what's going on here. Little sniffy sniff time. Oh, the widget contest. Mott, I wanted to start with that today. Hundreds and hundreds of entries, but if you haven't joined, we're drawing next week. Link right over here. If you're watching me on iTunes or somewhere else, everybody's always like, where are you pointing to, all the YouTube people? You have to go to winelibrarytv.com. We got links on the site. Right over here is the widget contest. You put a little Wine Library TV widget on your website, your blog. People were asking me, you know, I told people you can use any other kind of blog. Besides, it doesn't have to be a blog. It could be a website. So some lawyers put it on, some real estate people. It's really cool. People putting it on their Facebook and MySpaces. We will count that because that's how we do. So see what you can do with that. Let's get back into this. A little sniffy sniff. I get some really common strawberry flavors. I'm getting a little wood, a little oak monster. Actually, oak monster would be more like coming up, like that, you know. Oak monsters, I don't like him. Come on. People do though. Anyway, anyway, a little bit of oak, a little bit of strawberry. Very basic on the nose. Really smells like a lot of $7 to $10 California Cabernets to me on the nose. Let's give it a whirl. I love trusting my nose. It's a lot of times wines just follow through. This wine is austere backwards, high tannin to fruit ratio. That's never a good thing. Bitterness, simplicity, awkward. Spectators smoking some serious ganj when they go 89 on this. I'm going to score this wine before I kill it because it was a natural reaction. Let me assess it properly. Let me not be a jerk. It's got some secondary black licorice flavors, but it's light, and it's really not bringing any kind of thunder whatsoever. I'm going to score this wine 81 points. Art Monk in the house, and give it a pass. I mean, again, really kind of disappointing actually. Really expected a little bit more. 2000 vintage. I really felt like, Mott could have made a good wine in 2000 in Bordeaux. It was such a great growing season, but just not my cup of tea. And so far, really disappointed with the Bernard Defaix. Slightly disappointed with the Cardonne. Shahalam surprise. I mean, I'm probably 0 for 3 if I had to predict how the wines would go. And now we're getting into a serious wine. I'm excited about this. People have been asking me to bring the heat. Where was I going with the feet? Bring the heat from Chile, the Seña 2001, which is a Mondavi and Erasmus project. This wine is $29 US in half bottle. 93 points, Wine Spectator. This is like an Opus 1 of Chile kind of concept that Mondavi came up with. I think it's been going on since 93, maybe 96. Somewhere in the mid-90s, I remember this project launched. It was very hot. 50, 60 US dollar retail, price points. I'm boring you, Mott? You're yawning over there. Let's give this a whirl. So this is a blend of 75% Cabernet, 15% Merlot, 6% Cabernet Franc, and 4% Carmenere. Got to throw a little Carmenere in there. It's from Chile. It's got some nice color. Let's see what's going on here. 93 points, big score, 29 bones. Little Leon Washington's number. Devin Hester yesterday. Did you watch that game at all? Amazing. You watched?
What was on after the Giants?
Yeah.
Francis S. was gleeful.
Wow, this is an incredible nose, actually. Man, this is going to suck shit. Psst, chips. Resale chips. This smells exactly like a Russian candy that I grew up on, and I have no idea of the American translation. I do believe it's cassis, but it's not... Smell this, Mott. This is stupid intense. This wine comes across, right? This wine has one of the most intense and obvious noses, and after picking out plastic toys and dumpsters and jock straps and grass and muddy decay in Egypt, I can't pinpoint what this nose is, and it's really hurting my feelings. Man, I'm not going to get it, too. I just know I'm not. Anyway, a very intense, jammy, right? Jammy nose of fruit. Mott, do you know?
It smelled a lot like berries.
Yeah, it's very berry driven. I don't know what. I'll tell you what it does smell like on the little finish. There's a lot of a goji berry component on the nose, on the finish. Actually, maybe. I know that's not. There's something. Gosh, there is a Russian candy. If you go to Queens or Brighton Beach, and we go through the candies, I can pinpoint it, but I'm not going to get it. It's extremely intense, very fruit forward, probably the most intense pinpoint nose that I've come across yet of the 1,000+ wines we've done on the show, and I can't give you the fruit. And I'm so sorry. I really can't. Let's give it a whirl. Very sour fruit in its approach. Very viscous and full, luscious, thick comes to mind. Kind of like this is milk and the last 3 wines were water. It's got that viscosity on the mouthfeel that I appreciate. Very unique flavor. I get copper rusty nail. How you feeling? Better? Copper rusty nail kind of components coming through on the mouthfeel. I'm also getting some red licorice, which is a nice Twizzler surprise. We've been going black licorice a lot lately. This tastes exactly like that goddamn fruit. I don't know what it is either. Anyway, a very distinct style. I mean, either you're going to love this wine or you're not going to, because it is so one-dimensionally flavored towards this one random fruit that I have no idea. That's what happens when you grow up in a bilingual family. You know how it's... I don't even know the Russian name either. Otherwise, I would say it because I know we have some Russian viewers, and then I would get it. I apologize. Hopefully somebody's had the 2001 Seña and can tell me what it is. Overall, it's a very complex and rich and flavorful and mouthfeel-driven wine. I like it. I'm not crazy like Wine Spectator again. I am going to go 90 points in this. I am going to give it a pass because... And let's throw up a couple... You know, we haven't done pass with 7 Z's in a long time. Let's do that. And all in all, I think an extremely good wine. By the way, didn't even mention, how cute were those girls to start today's episode. I hope everybody enjoyed that. Please send in more videos, and really, 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 please send in 15-second clips of Beware. I think that could be so much fun. I should make it something official. Maybe we'll give everybody a wristband or something, or a t-shirt even, or a wine bag. I want them. I think, like, could you imagine if we could get to a point where every day it's a Vaniac doing a 15-second Beware to new people? It could be so cool. But I know they don't care, Mop, because they didn't send in pictures. They don't leave that many comments unless we threaten to Armageddon. Still love you with everything I got. You know, I continue to answer questions and did 447 emails yesterday, Mott. They don't care. Olives. Olives. Hold on. There's a black olive component here. It's coming to me a little bit. A definite black olive component. It could be red cassis. I could just be, but just like so intense and so pure. Question of the day. Do you drink... Well, actually, question of the day was, what should I do, right? I need you on that. That's it. Weird show. I'm weird. But you love me. I know a lot about wine. Come and hang with me. More than you think. This is actually minimal. You, me, Mott, WL, Jets, Patrick Ewing, Jersey. What a weird day. You, with a little bit of me, we are changing the wine world.